Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real. When a man truly, deeply loves you, he doesn't just show it, he says it. Not with big fancy words or dramatic gestures. No, with simple, powerful truths that come straight from the heart. A man in love doesn't hide behind silence. He speaks love. And when he does, listen closely. These 5 things, they're not just words. They're evidence. When a man deeply loves you, one of the first things he begins to say is, I've got you. These 3 words carry a weight far beyond their simplicity. They speak of security, protection, and emotional grounding. When he says this, he's not just trying to comfort you in a moment. He's making a declaration of presence. He wants you to know that no matter what life throws at you, he is there. A man who says, I've got you, is showing up for you, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I know that this moment, life feels calm, and the fear and game, he's saying, you don't have to go through this alone. He wants to be your safe space, your calm in the storm, your solid ground when things get shaky. He's not trying to solve all your problems, but he's letting you know that you have a partner, someone who will walk beside you, stand behind you, and catch you when you fall. This statement isn't about dominance or control. It's about commitment and care. It's him stepping up to say he's responsible not just for loving you in words, but in action. It's him choosing to carry some of the weight on days when it feels too heavy for you. I've got you is him staying up when you can't sleep, being present when the world feels too loud, and checking on your heart when you say you're fine but don't mean it. It's him reading between the lines, showing up in small ways that speak volumes. The way that speaks volumes. The way that speaks volume. A man in love doesn't want you to feel like you're navigating life alone. He wants you to feel covered, held, and protected, even when he's not physically next to you. He wants you to breathe easier knowing that someone truly has your back. When a man starts saying, I've got you, it reflects a shift in how he views the relationship. You are no longer just someone he enjoys spending time with. You are someone he is ready to invest in, protect, and stand by. It shows he's thinking long term. He's not running when things get hard. He's leaning in, stepping forward, and showing you that you are not a burden, but a blessing. He starts looking at you not just as a romantic partner, but as someone worth fighting for, worth building with, worth showing up for consistently. He wants to be your peace in a chaotic world. It's in these words that you begin to feel the difference between affection. This isn't just a moment of comfort. It's a mindset of loyalty. It's him telling you, without saying it directly, you're safe with me. It's one of the most powerful declarations of love a man can make, not because it's dramatic, but because it's steady. It's love that stands firm even when life doesn't. And the beauty is, he's not waiting for you to be perfect or for everything to be easy. He's showing up in the middle of it all, saying, I've got you, and meaning every word of it. From the deepest part of who he is, when a man deeply loves you, one of the most revealing things he starts saying is, how are you really? At first glance, it might seem like a simple question, but when it comes from a place of genuine love, it carries a depth that most overlook. A man who loves you doesn't settle for surface level conversations. He's not asking just to be polite or out of habit. He's asking because he truly wants to know what's going on in your heart and mind. He wants to understand your emotions, your struggles, your joy, your fears, and everything in between. He's interested in what lies behind your smile, what's hiding beneath the I'm fine that you might say without thinking. That question becomes his way of checking in with your soul, not just your schedule. When he asks how you really are, he's making room for your truth. He's inviting you to be honest, to be vulnerable, and to speak freely without the fear of being judged or misunderstood. He's not looking for a perfect answer. He's not expecting you to have everything together. He just wants to connect, to feel close, to show you that he sees you and values your emotional world. He understands that real intimacy isn't built in grand gestures, but in small moments of sincere attention. It's the conversations where you let your guard down, where you admit what's been weighing on you, where you share what you're excited about and what's been keeping you up at night. A man who loves deeply isn't afraid of your messy moments. In fact, he wants to be present in them. He wants to walk with you through the lows and celebrate the highs right alongside you. Asking how you really are is his way of saying that your emotional state matters to him. Your peace, your clarity, your happiness, all of it is important. He doesn't just want to know what you did today. He wants to know how you felt about it. He doesn't just want to hear about your plans. He wants to understand your hopes and worries behind those plans. This kind of care requires presence, attention, and emotional availability, things that only come from a heart that's truly invested. And he doesn't ask just once. It becomes part of how he communicates. He checks in when you've been quiet. He listens without interrupting. He remembers the small details you mention in passing. He brings them up later to show he was really listening. His goal isn't to fix you, but to understand you, to make sure you feel seen, heard, and emotionally supported. When a man loves you, he's not just loving your outer world, he's loving your inner world too. He's making space for your full self to show up. And in doing so, he helps you feel safe enough to be real. That kind of love doesn't just touch your heart, it settles into your soul and reminds you that you're not in this alone. When a man deeply loves you, he begins to say, "We'll figure it out." And that phrase carries a strength that can calm storms. It means he's not stepping away when things get complicated. He's stepping closer. This isn't a man who looks for the exit at the first sign of trouble. Instead, he looks for solutions, for understanding, for unity. Those 4 words are his commitment in action. They reflect the mindset that love is not just about the good times. It's about showing up when life throws challenges your way. We'll figure it out. Means he sees you and him as a team. It's no longer about you or him individually. It's about us, about together. And that kind of mindset doesn't come from infatuation. It comes from real, grounded, unconditional love. A man who says this is not intimidated by life's chaos. He knows that disagreements, financial stress, personal setbacks, and misunderstandings are part of any relationship. But what separates him from others is his decision to face those things with you rather than apart from you. He's not throwing blame. He's not retreating into silence. He's engaging. He's participating. He's bringing his energy into the solution, not adding to the problem. It means he respects the relationship enough to fight for its peace. Even when he's unsure of the answer, he's sure of one thing: you won't face the problem alone. When he says, "We'll figure it out," it also reveals his confidence in you, not just in himself. It's a recognition of your resilience, your wisdom, and the value you bring to the partnership. He believes that between the two of you, there's enough strength, faith, and intelligence to work through whatever lies ahead. He's not trying to dominate the outcome. He's trying to build it with you. He includes you in the process. He listens, he values your opinion, and he lets you know that your voice matters. This kind of reassurance does more than soothe tension. It builds trust. It tells you that this relationship is not built on convenience, but on a real foundation of love that can withstand pressure. And there's something powerful in the calmness of those words. They don't deny the problem, they acknowledge it. Without panic, without fear. That calm becomes a refuge. It's emotional leadership. It's him choosing faith over frustration, patience over pressure. It's a reflection of emotional maturity and stability. And in that moment, you realize he's not just loving you when things are easy, he's choosing you when things are hard. This is the type of love that creates longevity. Not because every moment is perfect, but because both people are willing to work through the imperfect ones. We'll figure it out becomes a promise, not just for today, but for whatever the future brings. You see, when everything is going the way you want, you may rest on the imperfect, not just for today, but for whatever the future brings. It becomes a steady hand reaching for yours, saying no matter what it is, we'll face it together. When a man deeply loves you, one of the most sincere things he starts to say is, "You make me better." That sentence holds an honesty that can't be faked, because real love doesn't just make you feel good, it transforms you. When a man loves from the core of who he is, he begins to see himself differently through your eyes. He becomes more aware of his own habits, his decisions, his character. He starts paying attention to how he speaks, how he acts, how he handles pressure, not because you demanded it, but because loving you motivates him to rise to a higher version of himself. You're not changing him, he's changing him because he wants to be better for you and with you. That's not weakness, that's strength in motion. That's the power of love doing what it was meant to do. Refine and elevate. When he says you make me better, he's acknowledging that your presence in his life is not just comforting, it's inspiring. It means the way you live, the way you speak, the way you love him, it all challenges him to grow. He starts to reflect more. He begins to consider things he never paid attention to before. He starts wanting to heal parts of himself he used to ignore. Maybe you bring out his patience. Maybe you make him think before reacting. Maybe he starts working harder, communicating more openly, or leading with kindness, all because he sees the impact your love has on him. And it's not just about the romantic parts. It's about the way you make him want to be a better man in all areas of life. As a partner, a son, a friend, a leader, he starts showing up differently. This kind of change doesn't happen from pressure or control. It comes from love that uplifts instead of belittles. A man who feels loved, respected, and appreciated starts to feel capable of becoming his best. And the beautiful thing is, he doesn't say this to flatter you. He says it because he genuinely feels it. He feels more centered, more clear, more focused. He may even start to chase goals he once put aside. He may carry himself with more confidence because of how you see him. Your belief in him becomes a mirror that reflects his potential. And in return, he begins to value the relationship even more deeply because he knows it's not just a source of comfort, it's a source of growth. When a man tells you, "You make me better," he's not talking about perfection. He's talking about alignment. You bring something into his world that helps him connect to his purpose. You help him walk straighter, speak with more meaning, and love with more depth. He becomes more intentional, more honest, more grounded. And he recognizes that without your influence, he wouldn't have stepped into this elevated version of himself. It's a quiet thank you, a humble acknowledgement, and a deep expression of love all wrapped into one sentence. When a man deeply loves you, one of the most vulnerable and telling things he'll start to say is, "I don't want to lose you." That statement isn't about fear of abandonment in a needy sense. It's about recognition. Recognition of your value, your presence, and the irreplaceable role you now play in his life. When a man utters those words, it's not because he's trying to trap you emotionally. It's because he's finally seeing with clarity just how deeply he feels. He's admitting that your love is not something he takes for granted. It's a part of his life that holds weight, depth, and meaning. And in saying it, he's allowing his walls to drop. He's letting you see the softer side of him, the one that cares deeply, the one that fears losing something real, something rare. I don't want to lose you means he's no longer trying to act cool or detached. He's not playing games. He's not pretending to be unaffected. He's being real. That sentence is a raw truth, an emotional confession from a man who may not always have the words to express his heart, but finds courage in those moments to say what he truly feels. It means he's invested. It means he sees a future with you and can't imagine it without your presence in it. It means that your place in his life is no longer optional. It's essential. And he's aware that love like this doesn't come around often, which makes him careful with it, protective of it, and deeply appreciative of it. That expression also shows emotional growth. It takes maturity for a man to admit that something matters so much to him that the idea of losing it unsettles him. Not in a way that creates pressure, but in a way that confirms how much your relationship means. It's his way of saying you've made an imprint on his life, one that he doesn't want to fade. It's not about being afraid to be alone. It's about knowing life is better with you in it. When a man reaches this level of emotional honesty, it usually means he's ready to nurture the relationship with even more care because he sees it as something sacred. And this kind of expression doesn't come during easy moments. It often surfaces during challenges, during reflection, during those quiet nights when he's thinking about what truly matters. It might come after an argument or in the middle of a deep conversation or even randomly when he's overcome with emotion. But when it comes, it leaves no doubt. Those words settle deep into the soul because they're more than romantic. They're real. They remind you that behind the strength, behind the pride, behind the composed exterior is a man whose heart is wide open, who has found something in you that touches him beyond explanation. And when he says, I don't want to lose you, he's not just speaking from the moment. He's speaking from the core of his love for you. When a man deeply loves you, one of the things he naturally begins to say is, let's plan this together. These words may seem simple on the surface, but they carry a powerful message of unity, commitment, and partnership. It shows that he no longer sees life as a solo mission. He sees you as a permanent part of his journey, someone who belongs in the conversations about what comes next, whether it's something as small as planning a weekend getaway or as big as making financial goals, home decisions, or life dreams. When a man says this, he's signaling that your opinion matters to him. Your input is valued, and your future is something he wants to build with you, not around you. This kind of language reflects a mental shift. It's no longer about me and you. It's about us. He's not making moves and expecting you to adjust. He's inviting you into his world and, more importantly, into the decisions that shape that world. That level of involvement means he respects your mind, your ideas, and your perspective. It shows maturity and emotional intelligence. A man who wants to plan with you sees you not just as a romantic partner, but as a teammate, someone he trusts with details, with dreams, and with responsibilities. He's thinking beyond the present moment. He's thinking about compatibility, long-term peace, shared vision, and mutual goals. Let's plan this together isn't about control, and it's not about handing over responsibility. It's about partnership in its purest form. It's about him recognizing that love thrives when both people feel seen and heard, when both contribute to the direction things are headed. And it's also his way of letting you know he values balance. He's not there to dominate or decide alone. He wants alignment. And that only comes when you walk side by side through the process. It might be about something as simple as what to eat for dinner, or as deep as how to raise future children. But the principle stays the same. He doesn't just want you in his heart, he wants you in his life plans. This phrase also reflects trust. A man who includes you in decisions is a man who believes in your wisdom and your ability to help lead alongside him. He doesn't need to have all the answers because he knows he has someone solid to navigate it with. That brings emotional safety. That creates an atmosphere where you're not guessing where you stand. He's showing you through his words and actions that he's not just committed to loving you emotionally, but to building something with you practically. And even if the plans don't always go as expected, what matters most is that he's choosing to face the unknown with you, to share the load of decision making, and to make sure that every step forward is taken together, with both voices being heard and both hearts being considered equally in every part of the journey. When a man deeply loves you, one of the most meaningful things he starts to say is, "I'm proud of you." These words are more than just compliments. They're an emotional affirmation. They carry a recognition of your journey, your growth, your strength, and the effort you put into becoming who you are. When a man says this with sincerity, it means he's paying attention. He sees the work you do, the way you carry yourself, the way you handle challenges, and the passion you bring into your life. He's not just watching the results, he's admiring the process. He's acknowledging your victories, both big and small, and letting you know that your accomplishments and your resilience inspire him. This statement is also a window into how he sees you, not just as someone he loves romantically, but as someone he respects deeply. He values your mind, your character, your purpose. He sees you not just through the lens of affection, but through the lens of admiration. And in expressing pride in you, he's letting you know that your presence in his life elevates him. It's not just about attraction or chemistry. It's about how your strength feeds his own. It's about how your ambition pushes him to dream more. It's about how your integrity makes him want to live better. "I'm proud of you" becomes his way of saying that loving you also means growing with you. When a man is truly in love, he celebrates your individuality. He doesn't see your power or independence as a threat. He sees it as a gift. He's not trying to compete with you or silence your light. He's cheering for you, supporting you, and pushing you forward. Whether you're succeeding in your career, healing from past wounds, standing firm in your boundaries, or chasing something you've never dared before, his pride in you is genuine. It's not performative. He doesn't just say it when people are watching. He says it in private moments, when no one's around, when you least expect it, because it's not about appearance, it's about truth.